What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again with Diego's bugeye and Diego. So in the last video you guys saw that Diego has been playing with the idea of selling the bugeye, and although a lot of you guys were upset, the majority of everyone was upset that they never got to see the car 100% complete. Out of nowhere, Diego hits me up this morning and he's like, dude, let's just get it done. Let's do it. Find a shop. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna finish the bugeye. That was the most unexpected news that I could hear. I honestly thought that he just wanted to fix the suspension parts and just drive it and enjoy it. And if it gets finished, it gets finished. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But just to hear Diego this morning say that he wanted to officially finish the bugeye, oh, I'm so happy about it, guys. So about a month ago, I asked you guys which shop you recommended so that I could get stuff done for my car. And Sabas, the guy with the Evo that's been on our channel, actually recommended us to Silver Auto Body and Glass. They do some quality work here in Carson City, and I believe the owner's son, his name is Jason, and he actually built a car for SEMA. So that alone should show you guys how quality their work is here.
I was like texting him in the morning, and then he said to bring down the Subi down to Carson with the flares, and then he could check him out and see what he can do with like the whole install process. So
there's two ways that we can get this done. We can get the flares bolted in like they're supposed to be done, or we can get them molded like how they were on my car.
So if we get them molded, the issue with that is that we have to get almost the whole car resprayed, the quarters, and then the front fenders, and that's gonna be a lot more work. In my opinion, like I said, I'm not even rushing this at all. I'm just throwing that idea out there that I'm gonna get it done. I'm looking for like quality work, and like Danny said, I can either make it custom work and get it molded to the car, which is gonna be more pricey and it's gonna be more work, or we can mess with the flares and get them like custom done with like a little bit more fiberglass. What I don't want is them sitting with a bunch of gaps and all that like bullshit, because we've been through that. So we just want them to like fit well, obviously look good. So that's why we're looking for good quality work.
So we're gonna go talk to Jason. He's gonna come out, take a look at the flares and the car and see what he recommends.
Hey man.
What's going on?
Diego.
Cool, nice to meet you.
I'm Danny.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nice to meet you, bro.
I was the one texting you.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Do you want me to put them anywhere specific, bro?
No, we're just gonna pull them out, and then we're gonna check them against the car.
Fronts, I believe. Okay. And they come with like the front piece for this part. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I just want that part.
Okay.
What's your first impression on like the fitment?
It's not too bad. I mean, obviously, they don't make, 1,000 of these to fit, 1,000 different cars. They have one car and they use one mold and they put it on that car.
Exactly, yeah.
So if that car has been cut, or if the fenders have been rolled, or this body line's been compromised, from car to car, these aren't going to have the same exact fitment. But these, they line up pretty good. Suggest, adding like a small rubber gasket so it doesn't rub on your paint, and that'll help, take away some of the gap. But when I fit it on there, it fit pretty good. You see how there's a little bit of a gap. I'll start off, with a mounting point right here, and I'll get that nice and squared up, and then I'll bring it up and I'll mount down here, and then we'll push it up against there and see what the line looks like. Because just pushing right here, you see how choppy it is.
Yeah. So
what I do is I would fit these first, and then I'd fit these onto the door and make sure that when I open and close the door, they don't rub. If I just put this on first, willy-nilly, just, oh, that looks good, and then I go to put that up, that looks good, and I put them together, they're gonna hit each other. If you check it out, it's kind of not like a perfect circle. Like, you see how this is a nice arch? If you look right here, it kind of dips.
So weird.
Yeah, so that's probably one thing that I won't be able to fix, because it's fiberglass, and you don't want to just put a bunch of fiberglass on it. You know, to make up this much, it's gonna be a lot. As far as like this roundness, it doesn't feel too bad. It could probably use like a little skim coat of some filler just to get it nice and perfectly round. Now this one, we might have a problem right here. You see how all this gap right here, this line's not right? Yeah, see. So that's where we're gonna be running into problems. So they're not too bad.
All right, back in. We just left Jason's shop, and just to recap on a little bit of what he said, Diego wants quality work. If he wants to go like the extra mile to do more custom work that needs to be done, he can do that. If he just wants to bolt them on, get them painted, make them sit nice and flush, he can also do that. At the end of the day, it's what you want to do, you know?
Yeah, it's how much I want to spend. Like Danny put that idea on me too, is that let's say if I already keep the car one day and I already want to go wide body, you know, I can just slap off the flares and that'll like save me a bunch of time. So I just got to think about what's going to be good for the long run. I hate flares and they're just such a bitch to work with. Like honestly, dude, like,
I don't know if you remember like years back the picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was like a meme when people say they want to flare their car.
Okay.
And they were like, like the meme said, don't do it.
Honestly, bro, like.
And now I get it, dude.
Like honestly, okay, like I'm being realistic. If I would have never flared or like gone and cut my quarters and all that stuff, I could have probably done more stuff to the suspension. Like I wish I could have done that, but we live and we learn. So, you know, we're gonna get this shit done.
Dude, look.
Yo! Yo, what the fuck?
Look who randomly pulled up, bro.
Yo!
Look at this dude.
Dude, this car looks sick.
Yo!
God, I was like, there's Diego.
I was like, where were you? Were you guys just like?
We're eating breakfast.
Damn, last week we had Diego's car with hongos, and now we have... It's so windy.
Holy shit.
Just filled up on some gas, and we actually got really lucky because we're expecting a huge snowstorm this week. It's supposed to snow all week, and today was like the last nice, I mean kinda semi-nice day. So it was good that we met up with Jason. We're gonna go home now, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the flares once we get there. All right guys, made it back home. So what Jason told us, which is some really good news, is that most of the flares actually fit really nicely. Not a lot of them have a bunch of gaps. The fronts fit really well. Driver's side rear fits really well. That might need a little bit of work. The only one that actually had quite a bit of an issue was the passenger rear side. So if you look at the flare from here, I think he said that part, this look right here, I think this is mainly where it is. The two edges that come in, they like pinch almost, right? They're like this, right, Diego? So they pinch right here at the bottom, and then they kind of open up right here, and then it twists again, and it pinches again right around this area. So it's like a super awkward gap. And put it on the car, Diego, so we can show them. So if you line up the flare, line it up at the top over here, it actually gets super funky and weird.
So look at it,
towards the bottom.
And you
so
can see it from my angle.
Yeah, see?
Check out the top.
So right here, if it's
like good.
super flush,
but look at the bottom. Look at the bottom.
Comes perfect, and then it starts to like really open out.
And then there's a fat gap right there.
If you try pushing this inwards like this, it actually doesn't let the door close. It'll actually hit right there. So Jason recommended that we send this flare back and then get a new one sent out. The best way that I can put it is if you're building a fence and you have a board that's crooked, you're gonna spend a lot more time trying to make that board straight than if you buy a board that's already straight and you can just put it on and move on. Does that make sense, Diego?
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
That's like the best way I could put it and the easiest way that I could put it.
I have a couple ideas what I'm gonna be doing. Like I said, I'm not rushing to be putting the flares on because I want it to come out good. So yeah, in the next couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna decide on what I'm gonna do, and then I'm just gonna install the flares and then get them painted and then have the car all done.
Also, you guys let us know in the comments down below how you think Diego should run these flares. There's always molding, there's bolting. At the end of the day though, it is gonna be quality work. I'm excited, guys. If you're excited, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Are you excited, Diego?
I'm excited. I got a couple suspension things on that I'm like, I want to focus more on like the near coming future, so we'll see how all this goes.
To be honest with you guys, I think it was finally time for both Diego and I to go to a legit shop and get everything done the right way this time.
So I don't know what's gonna end up happening after like I put on the flares and suspension. Most likely I still might sell it, but then knowing myself, I'll keep it and then probably end up doing something else to it. But let me know what you guys want to see on the car, you know, besides the flares.
And we do listen to your guys' comments. I think a majority of the motivation that Diego got from last video to this video was because of your guys' comments and recommendations. So we're gonna finish the bugeye, and only time will tell what Diego ends up doing with it afterwards. But for now, let's enjoy the flares getting put on and having this thing 100% complete. Diego's car is going back in the garage because we're getting a bunch of snow this week. See what happens after that. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.